know the teacher that went viral for saying, play with the ones who love you most, and it ain't me. So guys, she sat down with Takeover ENT and did an interview. She really can't speak on the incident, but she spoke on what she meant and also talked about how good of a teacher she is to the students. And for those of you who want to see the full interview, we will be leaving a hashtag with Takeover TV ENT's Instagram. Go check it out.
Don't interrupt an adult when they're talking, and a child is to stay in a child's place. When adults are talking, children go play. And I understand that the newer generation may do things a little different, and I have to respect that. I do. I may not like it, but I have to respect it because I understand different parents raise their children differently. From that video going viral, I wanted to, explain, a few things, because I understand that it may have sounded harsh, and that's not the way I wanted to come off. That's not the way I am in my classroom. But, sometimes we do have to get onto our children. When I said, play with the one who loves you the most, I tell my children all the time, I love you, but not as much as your mom does. The real world is not going to care about your feelings. You all are teenagers right now. The things that you all are doing will follow you. You have to learn to make better decisions. That's all I was saying. That is simply all I was saying when I said play with the one who loves you the most. Your mom, I love you, but not as much as your mom loves you. So what your mom take off you, I don't have to take it because I'm your teacher. I love you, but not as much as she does. That's all I was saying. And also, when I said, oh, I got my degrees, you need to get yours. Please I come from very humble beginnings. Very humble beginnings. Those who are familiar with Cedar Grove and Amanda Clark, that was our government cheese building. You could walk out of my backyard, take 15 steps, and you would be in the yard of the government cheese building. I mean, the building that, gave our government assistance. I hear, we make jokes on social media. Everybody talks about the cheese from one chick from being on the streets. So my biggest thing was when this went viral, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm in my classroom mistreating my children or talking to them any type of way. I take what I do very serious, very serious. When those children are with me, they're my responsibility. And if something happens to them, I'll be held accountable. And the first thing the parent is going to ask, where was your teacher? What did your teacher do? So I take what I do very seriously. If I may say, listen, I don't even do referrals. I've done one referral this year. I have 2 6th grade classes and 8th grade class. I've only done one referral. In all of my 13 years, I may have three referrals under my name. I don't believe in doing them. If I write you up, I can't teach you. If I write you up, I don't know. I'm realistic in saying some of my children may get in trouble later on in life. I don't want them coming back looking at my records and seeing my name on a referral for a child I had to teach. I don't want to do it to them. I'm realistic. Like I said, I've had children to live with me. I've gone to graduations. I've gone to funerals, as well as visited CCC. I don't want to put anything on any of my children's records that may hunt them later on down the line. If that child's behave for you, the rest of the class will fall in line with you. It's about developing relationships with the children. Because I'm going to tell you, the problem really isn't the children. Children only do what they are allowed to do. If children see that you care about them, if they know that you genuinely care, and that you're just not there to get a check because, they probably think teachers make a lot of money. They see us come to school looking halfway decent.
Right.
If they see that you care about them, there is absolutely nothing those children won't do for you. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. The problem really isn't the children. And as you know, we stated we can't really speak about the incident that happened.
Right.
I'll say this. I would look like a fool staying angry with a child for something that he or she may have done. I would look like a fool. I know children only do what they are allowed to do. And I know peer pressure is real once children start becoming teenagers. Peer pressure is real. Because I've had children to act ugly and be disrespectful, and they'll wait and they'll come back and they'll apologize to me. So I look like a fool staying angry with a child that did something they know they had no business doing. I know peer pressure is real. And I know sometimes, too far. But right. I'm not upset with that child. I look like a fool staying upset with a child who's only doing what they may have been allowed to do in the past. Or maybe somewhere else. I don't know. But I can't stay angry with the child for doing something that they may not be punished for. All I can say is I have to make sure I'm well within doing what's right so I don't get in trouble. Again, I did not mean for this to go viral. Of course I didn't, because I didn't even know what was transpiring. I did not mean for this to go viral, but more than anything, I want all parents, all everyone to know I am not in my classroom talking to my children any type of way. My children know how I feel about them. I give them lectures all the time because I talk to them about they need to get it together. You're going to high school or you're going to the next grade. It's time for you to get more serious. I'm not saying they have to be serious all the time, but I want them to understand that you don't get do-overs in life. I tell them your transcript is going to follow you. So whatever grades you are making, there are no do-overs. Even in college, those who always ask me who plans to go to college, you may get that W for withdrawal, but it's still on your record. I wouldn't even venture on it because in child care, that's through the state, and it's completely different from the school. You can't raise your voice at children. Instead of saying, you too noisy. And I do this now with my own 4-year-old. I ask her, are you using your inside voice? You have to have a completely different approach with the smaller children. And I think I know I'll do really well with them because children take to me.
So what age is going to be for the child care center?
For my child care center, I'm taking 6 weeks. That's as soon as parents, get off maternity leave. Right. 6 weeks to 12 years, the after school program.
Oh, okay.
Right. 6 weeks to 12 years.
So is this what you're going to do full time and not go back to the school? Or are you going to do both? Or how is that going to work for you?
This is what I plan to do. I am taking a mental break from teaching right now. I'm taking a mental break. I'm realistic in knowing we all have things going on in our life. And by no means would I ever go into any interview and say anything bad about Caddo. Because as I said, Caddo are the children. Before it's anybody on Midway or a teacher or a principal, Caddo are the children. And my first love is teaching. And I know with my smaller children I can teach. But with my big children, I like to develop relationships with them. I laugh and talk with them. I tell them personal things about me. I tell them about my mom who's deceased. I tell them about my dad, who wasn't around much. I let them in.
And also, Ratchet City News, so hit that subscribe button and that bell notification will drop